Hey guys, it's Sarah, Less of Sarah. This is actually a response video to Ileana. Her YouTube channel is ILE122975. And she posted a video actually in response to a video that I made a while back about having surgery in Mexico and why I chose to have my weight loss surgery in Mexico. And I guess she is going through the process of having surgery here as well, but has been considering the idea of having surgery in Mexico, and she had some questions, and so I commented back to her and let her know that I'd be happy to answer her questions, and I did get an email from her this morning, and I answered the questions for her, but I did think that maybe it was worthwhile for me to discuss my experience a little bit and to answer her questions in video form as well, in case there was someone else out there who had been wondering. I will title this video in a way that makes it easy for people to find if you are looking for information about weight loss surgery in Mexico. So if you just happen to find this video, then hopefully it'll be helpful to you. My story is that I am Canadian. We do have health coverage for weight loss surgery here in Canada. There is a fairly lengthy process to go through for approval. There is, generally speaking, a fairly long wait time depending on which bariatric center you are referred to, what province you live in, etc. For a whole host of reasons, I decided to go the self-pay route, and I chose to have surgery in Mexico with Dr. Aceves in Mexicali at Mexicali Bariatric. So that was my surgeon. I had surgery almost exactly 4 months ago. You can see more videos on my channel if you search back of the hospital where I had surgery, of the lead up to my surgery, the day of, immediately after, which will give you a lot of information if you're curious about my experience in Mexico. But the short version is that I had an excellent experience. I felt that my surgeon was an excellent surgeon. He had a great reputation. He had done a number of the surgery types that I was having, which was a VSG, or vertical sleeve gastrectomy. I had no problems with going down to Mexico to have my surgery. It was fantastic. I will say that I did a lot of research on my own before I made the decision. I did a lot of research on surgeons. Research is important. Being prepared is important. The one thing that I will say about having surgery in Mexico is you need to be your own advocate with your doctor. You need to be ready to research and prepare and figure things out on your own. You will not get the same support that you would get going through a US or Canadian program. Although, to be very honest, I've certainly seen people who have had surgery in the US and Canada who weren't really given adequate information about what to expect, who weren't really given adequate information about diet, and it does vary from surgeon to surgeon. So my surgeon actually did give us quite a bit of information on, post-op diet and all of that stuff, but I certainly know there are some out there who don't. So I'm going to get into the questions that Ileana had asked me, and I may throw in some other stuff as well. Of course, if you have any questions for me, you can always comment below, and if there's enough questions, I'll just make a follow-up video, or you can email me anytime. It's lessofsarah@gmail.com, LessOfSarah@gmail.com, so GMAIL.com. So Ileana's first question was, how does surgery follow-up work? And for most Mexican surgeons, I would say there really isn't any follow-up. I know with my surgeon, I follow up via email, and if I have any questions, I can, go through his coordinator to ask him. I don't know how every surgeon works, and I'm sure they're different, but generally you should expect that there really won't be any follow-up. If you have questions, certainly in most cases the surgeon will answer them for you or give their recommendation, but your doctor is the one that is going to have to do your follow-ups, whether it's blood work, EGDs, anything that you need. So that's an important thing to consider. I would say it's very difficult to do this without your own doctor, your family doctor, being on board. So make sure that you do speak with your doctor to make sure that they are on board, or if you need to, find a new doctor who is on board with you having surgery. Her next question was about the surgery cost. The surgery cost varies quite a bit. I've seen anywhere from about $4,500 to probably $9,500 on the very high end. More reputable surgeons will charge more, generally speaking, because they can. That doesn't mean that a surgeon that is offering a lower cost is not as good, but they may not have been doing surgeries as long or whatever it may be. So it's just like anything else, you need to do your research for sure. I chose one of the two probably most well-respected and experienced surgeons that are spoken about when talking about surgery in Mexico, which is Dr. Aceves and Dr. Alvarez, the two Dr. A's. So Dr. Aceves is out of Mexicali, from Mexicali Bariatric. Dr. Alvarez is out of Piedras Negras, and his clinic is called Endobariatric. I know other people who've had surgery with Dr. Aceves and also people who've had surgery with Dr. Alvarez. I wouldn't hesitate to suggest either of them. They are the two surgeons that I particularly had researched and was choosing between. There are lots of other surgeons out there. There are a number of surgeons in Tijuana, Mexico. There's Dr. Joya, Dr. Almanza. I'm missing like at least 2 or 3 other quite well-known ones. Uncle Google is your friend, so you can just literally Google, bariatric surgeon Tijuana if you're interested in those surgeons, and see what you come up with. But back to costs, Ileana was wondering what was included in the cost. For my particular surgeon, my VSG surgery cost $8,500. That was $500 as a deposit and $8,000 when $8,000 on the day, or I guess the day before. That covered a hotel stay the night before, my hospital stay, my surgery, any testing, some of the drugs, although there were a few things I needed to buy on my own, but it was maybe, I don't know, $70 or $80 worth of stuff. It also covered transportation from San Diego to Mexicali. So the only thing it didn't cover was airfare. I believe that most surgeons have fairly all-inclusive packages like that as well. But that's something that you need to contact surgeons directly to find out. How did you find your doctor was another question that Ileana had. I did research on a couple of websites, obesityhelp.com and verticalsleevetalk.com. They are online forums. You will find that both of them have Mexico parts of their forum discussing self-pay in Mexico. I will actually link both of those below. I'll also link Ileana's channel and my original video on why I chose Mexico as well, just so that you guys can see that. So I would definitely suggest starting there. You'll see who people are talking about, their experiences. Once you have a few surgeons in mind or a surgeon in mind, go to Google. Google their name plus reviews. See what comes up. Come on YouTube. Google your surgeon's name. So in my case, Google Dr. Aceves, or just, Dr. Aceves VSG or WLS, and see what comes up. You'll find, generally speaking, people who have had surgery will often include their doctor's information, so you'll be able to find them and see what their experience was like. So the internet is the answer to that. That's where you want to find your information. And definitely, if you're interested, go ahead and email the surgeon or their coordinator and find out. I know that there are quite a few doctors who deal with a third party to, I guess, facilitate surgeries and travel and all of that. I'm not going to name any of those companies, but just to let you know, there are companies out there who basically facilitate medical tourism. They aren't actually affiliated with the doctors directly, so that's something to just be aware of. It doesn't mean you can't use a company like that, but you're kind of going through a middleman in that case. So that answered the next question, which was how did you research him and other doctors? She also asked, do you have a doctor you can see in case of emergency? This is going to vary based on where you live. What I would say is that's something that you really need to speak with your own family doctor about and find out, if I do have some kind of emergency that is related to my surgery, what can I do? Can I be referred to a local bariatric center? How long will that take? Is it a possibility? Make sure you ask all those questions of your own doctor before you go ahead with surgery, for sure. Her last question was, how long did you stay there? With my surgery, you needed to come in the day before for pre-op testing, and you stayed in the hospital for 3 days with a VSG, and then you went home. I actually stayed a day before in San Diego and 2 days after in San Diego, so I was actually gone for a full week from home. That's just what I chose to do. I could have definitely flown home after 3 days. I was a bit more comfortable after 5 days, but certainly it's not really an issue as far as travel goes. A couple other things I just wanted to talk about because this is what everyone asks. Were you scared having surgery in Mexico? No, I wasn't scared having surgery in Mexico at all. I can only speak for, the place that I had surgery. It was a private hospital. It was gorgeous. It was 10 times cleaner than any hospital I've been to in Canada. And that's not to disparage the Canadian health system, but they cleaned 24 hours a day there. It was amazing. The doctors and nurses, everyone was amazing. My surgeon is very skilled. He's very experienced. He's done many, many surgeries of the type that I had. So I wasn't scared at all. I had a wonderful experience in Mexico, as have many, many other people. So yeah, don't take my word for it. Do your research, but you'll be hard pressed to find people who found that their experience wasn't great with many of the surgeons. So yeah, there's no reason to be frightened of having surgery in Mexico. Like anything else, you want to go into it having done your research. I've heard horror stories of people having surgery here in Canada and in the US as well. So that can happen anywhere. Make sure that you know what you're getting into, who you are allowing to do surgery on you, no matter who your surgeon is or where they're located. I was trying to think of anything else that people often ask me. I think the big one is that the reactions of your friends and family will probably be, oh my God, you're crazy. Why would you do that? It's because they're ignorant in the sense that they just don't know. They don't know. They're uneducated. It's like the people who want to tell you not to have weight loss surgery because their friend's uncle, sister's brother's dog died from weight loss surgery. You know what? Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. Don't listen to what other people have to say unless they know more than you do. And in many cases, that's going to be no one that you know unless they've had weight loss surgery before. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend surgery with my surgeon in Mexico to anyone, and I'm happy to answer questions about it. Ileana, I hope that my email helped, and hopefully this video helps other people who are wondering about surgery in Mexico. Best thing I've ever done. So yeah. Great to see you guys. Thanks so much. And remember to appreciate every step in your journey. Have a great day.